Hey, are you looking to upgrade your key life areas and evolve to a higher level of existence? To practically harness personal growth and spirituality in a crazy, busy, imperfect world? Then you've come to the right place. My name is Prash, and this is Urban Spirituality, the show which uniquely fuses ancient wisdom with contemporary self-growth and spiritual disciplines to deliver value-adding tools, traits, and insights to help you unleash your fullest potential. We always keep it real, featuring authentic, unfiltered dialogue with guests from diverse backgrounds to inspire, entertain, and enlighten all who listen. So get ready for your dose of urban spirituality. Be present and let's dive in.
So all these years, I wanted to be, all I wanted was love, and I was being a tough guy. And I'm like, if I could only have reached that self-acceptance and that knowing of what I really wanted to do and really be, I could have lived a much more fruitful life. I've still got a long way to go and accomplished a lot more of that focus. But we do things, we please other people. You'll have a partner, and sometimes I'm going to use that metaphorical. I was a metaphorical prostitute.
Yeah,
You know, being a mercenary to just bring the bucks in, doing things to please other people, and that wasn't what I really wanted. I swallowed the celebrity pill, and this is great, this is wonderful, and man, it made me so unhappy. And now I'm going back to blood, sweat, and toil and tears to earn a crust, and I actually feel really good inside about it.
yeah.
You know,
There's joy in the grind.
I mean, I still have desires, ambitions to life be a little bit easier, because at the moment it's hard work. But the thing is, people say it doesn't have to be hard work. You know, the law of attraction and all that jazz. But I really think if you really want something, if it's too easy, you're never going to appreciate it. So
Totally.
I'm actually appreciating some of the toil, because I feel like I'm getting credibility back and a sense of self-worth and empowerment. I'm like, that feels good. And no amount of money can give you that. You have to earn that. And that's when you've built something, and I'm building something now, when you feel the passion, you feel the authenticity, and that is worth its weight in gold. And that's
Totally.
what I'm creating.
Yeah, absolutely.
And you're a coach, Prash, and I know I'm a coach, but I'd like to hear your take on that. Because we've not actually, we're mates and we talk each other, and as friends we share each other's knowledge. But I'd like to take, what's your point on that? Because I've never actually spoken to you as a coach.
Yeah,
as you might
as a coach, it's fascinating to see how many people, and I think what you said is scarily true. It's fascinating to see how many people think that the easy way out, the easy route, is the best route. And the easy route isn't always necessarily the best route. And I think a lot of times, and we're talking about people pleasing here in this subject, a lot of times people end up pleasing people because it's the easier thing to do. It's the less confrontational thing to do. It's the thing that's going to make life easy. Now, is there anything wrong with making life easy? No. But is there anything wrong with putting yourself as a second-rate passenger, right, as a backseat passenger in your own life? Oh, hell yeah, there's plenty wrong with that.
Let me just cut you off there for a second, because I hear myself saying it. What you say goes out your mouth and comes back in your head. I've talked bad of myself to other people, to be disparaging, to sort of like, with an insecurity, to get in like the jibe or the joke they might have about me before they've even thought it, as a self-protection mechanism. And I'm like, hold on. Why am I saying such, excuse my language, shitty things about myself? And it's only as I'm starting to love myself again, and I'm realizing I've got to stop doing this. I'm saying bad things around other people about myself. You know,
completely. And I want, and let me just chime in there, because this is one of the things that we touch on regularly, and this is one of the reasons why coming on retreats like this, and folks, you're tuned in right now. We got something really very special to share with you, and we're not going to spoil the surprise. Stay with us on this chat, and we're going to reveal some really, really, really valuable and beautiful things that I think are going to surprise you. But let me just say here straight from the outset that sometimes you need other people who are not your close friends, who are not your immediate dependents, to shine a mirror on you so that you can see how badly you're treating yourself or you're treating other people as a result of the
And
way
it's
you're
just
conducting.
what you said there. I don't listen to my missus or the people who I love the closest, because it's weird. You kind of got a protection. They don't have. You
Protection,
don't
right?
have. Although you respect them, you
Yeah.
don't respect them.
Yeah, Nicola's saying here, Nikki's here, be proud of who you are and your family love you, and you know how I feel always, have time for you always. And what a beautiful thing. That's the thing. You end up pleasing, isn't it ironic that sometimes we end up pleasing people, the very people who actually don't really give a damn about us or who aren't going to be with us
Yeah.
when the chips fall down. And we hurt the people who actually really care for us and we take them for granted. And isn't it the
I
same
think
the
you
other way
shared a
around?
post earlier on with, is it Will Smith? Did you share that one?
Yeah, Will Smith's post. Yeah, yeah.
So
I'll
remind
put
people what
that
the
up.
post was.
Yeah, Will Smith's post was really about, you know, deferring, getting back to yourself and recognizing that you need to put yourself as number one in that driving seat sometimes. I actually post the, I'll post it up here, Alex. Good shout. It's a really nice post actually. And we put it up there.
Why do
And I
you
think
spend
that's
so
the
much
point.
time pleasing people who don't matter?
Yeah,
You know, why do
absolutely. To
we
get
want to?
stuff
We
that you
make
don't
such
need,
an
right?
effort. And as I'm in my 43, nearly 44 years of age, I'm doing that less and less. I mean,
Yeah,
obviously, I still like to have my self-worth, and I like to feel good for
yeah,
myself. And if other people think I look good, that makes me feel good. But more importantly, I
sure.
need to feel good inside before I do any of that stuff.
And I think that's an important point. I think there's several points here that need to come out. And folks, tell us if you relate to this. Have you been on the receiving end of somebody treating you badly because they're trying to people please somebody else and they're treating you like crap, right? Or have you been the person doing that, right? Inadvertently, maybe, not deliberately, but because you feel you need to go and please this person over here, you're treating somebody else like dirt, right? And you don't necessarily mean it, right? We don't necessarily mean to do that. But what happens is there is a clash between our ego and our defense mechanism and our consciousness. And these three things are now having a fight off. What do you call it, Alex, in your language? A death match? You know, okay, okay, you know what
Yeah.
I'm you got two opponents trying to go for each other, and none of them are necessarily wrong. It's not like your ego is an enemy, but there is an aspect of your ego that you need to satisfy. Then there's your fear, fight or flight mechanism. You're feeling like, well, if I don't do this, you know, I'm going to lose my job. I'm going to lose this lady, this guy. They're not going to love me anymore. They're going to hate me. They're not going to value me. So really, you got to ask yourself, folks, why you behave in a certain way. You really need to step out yourself and ask yourself, is the thing that I'm doing really for my better good, or am I actually a backseat passenger in my own life? What do you think, Alex?
I think I'm reading I'm listening to what you're saying. I'm also reading some of the comments. I totally
And
agree
you
with
can
you,
see that,
Bobby.
right? Bobby's coming in really well.
Confidence. And I've got lots of good friends who've been saying very like mine. I'm totally with you, mate. Totally. So, but the thing is, we all listen. I know all this stuff intrinsically, and I live it. And I still have moments where I find myself thinking negative things,
Yeah.
and having negative thoughts. I mean, I like to say I'm human. I'm continually working on myself, and
Yeah.
what I do is I don't chastise myself. Whereas before, I used
No.
to, for instance, I'd get, because I've been in the media just a little bit, I'd
Yeah.
look at something like the Daily Mail online, and there'd be 1,000 comments. It'd be, I exaggerate, maybe 2 bad comments, and I wouldn't see the 998 great comments. So
Yeah.
it's because you start to come attuned to how your mindset is, and you notice certain things. So it's about trying to be kind to yourself, not trying to being kind to yourself and listening to the right messages, you know, because they're all
There's
out there.
absolutely a lot of truth to be
The
said
world could
about
be
that.
pants, the world could be pants, or the world could be great. Both are true. I could find
Yeah.
evidence right now to see all the horrible things that are going on in this country, not in Iraq or Sierra. You know,
Yeah, right here.
all these, yeah.
But the thing is, we're talking about countries, Alex. We're talking about countries. What about just, you know, this is happening right on our doorstep. This is in our own households, right? People aren't
especially in today's world, the Western
Household.
world, we're all on drugs. And I'm not talking about recreational, and there's enough of that, but it's actually more prescription. We are in a world, we're doped up on so many drugs, the whole of our nation. It's horrendous. We've been dumbed down. And I'm not even being conspiracy theorist. I'm looking at the facts. What are all these drugs doing to us? You know, there's so much depression now. It's rife. I wonder if we're one of the most unhappiest times in human civilization, even though we have more advancements in technology. You go to other countries where they have less, and they seem to be intrinsically happier. What's that? What are they doing there? What are we doing?
So let's talk about that, because what's going on, and I see this in my, I see this in the coaching practice. I see it in our coaching clients, especially the coaching clients that I have who are from, either the UK, Australia, the States. A lot of these poor people, and I say poor, I don't mean financially poor. Many times they're financially well off, but a lot of these poor folk have been dumbed down and programmed and conditioned to accept a certain form of reality, where a certain societal status, right? A certain status in society, a certain type of car, a certain type of social status, material possessions, and a certain type of payroll and a certain type of salary is regarded as the standard of success. So now we've been programmed to chase that like a guided missile, right? We've been programmed in there. Now we're chasing it. Guess what? Society is now programming. Guess what? Social media is telling it. The advertisers are telling it. Our friends have got one of those cars. Then somebody's got a really amazing looking partner and they think, well, I should have one of those. And suddenly we've been programmed into somebody else's definition of success, which means what? Kind of said what I said before. We've become a backseat passenger in our own goddamn lives because we've given away that, right? That ability to make that choice. And the difference is those people out there in Africa, and I was born in East Africa. I was born in Kenya. And I've been back to India, my homeland, so many times. Those people who are simple, right? You go to Brazil, a lot of these kids in the barrios, they're really happy just playing. And even the adults are happy. Why? Because they have their own calibrated definition of happiness, which is not reliant on material acquisition. And they're happy. Now, a lot of you people listening might think, well, that's a cop-out. If they had the money, they'd probably go and buy all that. Sure. Would they? Yeah, probably. But does it really matter? Does it really matter? Because really what matters is happiness is now. You don't actually live for happiness. It's not like you live for happiness in the future. Your happiness is always a present state. So what matters more then? For you to be happy in 5 years when you get that car, that job, that pay rise, that girlfriend, that boyfriend? Or being happy right now, being content right now, being satisfied and grateful for the stuff that you have got in your life that's going right, so that you resonate and you act and you breathe and you grow from a pace of happiness here and now. And then guess what? Those things will start to come in the way they're supposed to, because you're already satisfied within yourself. And you're feeling that, right? I mean, you know this. You're living proof right now, man. You're living proof of this.
Yeah. I had money a couple of times. I've lost money a couple of times.
Yeah.
When I had it, I forget about the money. When I had the good fame, if there was such a thing, and I was riding high, I wasn't really happy. It was like, I call it the LSD years. I wasn't taking LSD, but it was like life was surreal. I was on a trip, and I was out. I didn't feel real. Couldn't believe it. I'm everywhere for a second, and I could pretty much have whatever I wanted. Wow, it's unreal. But unreal didn't feel good. Didn't feel good. Now I've sort of crashed, and then I'm picking myself up. Hang on a minute, that wasn't what it was all made up to be. What do you really want? I thought what I really wanted was all that fame. And I said before I went to the Big Brother house the day before, I never wanted to go in. I never wanted to be famous for being famous, but I got swept along with the whole whirlwind of the whole fame thing, and it seduced me, and it was like a dirty drug. It was the biggest drug I was ever addicted to, fame. I went into that Big Brother house innocent, and I came out, I was still innocent, but then it slowly took hold of me, and I just lost a sense of who I was. And now I'm starting to regain the kid who I like fame. I'd like to be famous for having accomplished something, but having worked at something. That's why I trained as an athlete for
Right.
25 years. You know, went to the gym, scared, hard, toiled and struggled. I trained as an actor for years and years, you know, and it was hard work. It was scary, but to hear a clap of an audience or the cheer of a crowd is the most rewarding thing in the world. Forget about whatever you're getting paid. Even if I wasn't getting paid, sometimes I'd pay to fight. And now it's like, what do I really want? I actually didn't want to be a fighter, funnily. I was fighting because I was insecure. It was an outside pressure, which I thought, this is how I need to conform. Because I was different and people laughed at me and bullied me, I thought this is one way of getting acceptance. That's not what I really want. What I like to do is entertain people and to make people think. As an actor, I feel that the greatest gift I have is to nudge souls. And if I can do that, and that's what I really want to do now, that's what I'm doing.
Hey folks, thanks so much for listening. I really hope you enjoyed this episode, and as with all our episodes, found something to inform, inspire, and empower you in your personal and spiritual journeys in life. As always, feel free to leave a little love through your ratings and comments, subscribe, and share it with those you care about. And take your personal and spiritual evolution to the next level by joining us on one of our unique events, workshops, or retreats, or taking advantage of our personal and professional coaching packages. Find out more about us at mantratherapy.co.uk. I'm your host, Prash K. This is Urban Spirituality, and we will catch you on the next episode.